It's Madden NFL 22, and tonight's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the Pats and the Dirty Birds, and it's coming up next.
A full house expected here tonight, over 70,000, and the fans still filing into Mercedes-Benz Stadium just west of downtown Atlanta. A moment ago, here was the scene, the Falcons coming out from their tunnel to the roar of all the folks here in Atlanta. We're ready for football as these Falcons get set to match up with the New England Patriots. Brennan Gordon alongside, as always, my partner Charles Davis. And CD, in the few moments here before kickoff, let's give these folks at home a look at these two offenses by the numbers. What stands out to you?
Brandon, I just continue to be amazed by the analytics of the game, and it's an area where I continue to concentrate and study because I'm still trying to figure out how coaches and coordinators can really crunch the numbers and find where exactly on the field a defense is vulnerable. It's the game within the game. And if you really dive into it, it can be endlessly fascinating.
From Atlanta. On the return is J.J. Taylor. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Here comes the Patriots offense, and yes, it will be Mac Jones under center, the rookie out of Alabama. He got a little bit, see, even early birthday present. His birthday September 5th, but a little before that, he was named the starter. And Cam Newton, no longer there.
And Mac Jones has always been a battler, signed at Alabama, despite the fact that Jalen Hurts and Tua Tagovailoa were going to be there. Waited his turn and became one of the most prolific quarterbacks in Alabama history. An absolute surgeon throwing the football, knows where to go with it, very accurate with it, very poised, self-confident, but not overbearing. I like this young man. I think he's going to be quite successful.
And Charles, were you surprised that Cam Newton was let go?
No, not at all, because once they made the decision to go with Mac Jones, Cam Newton, not necessarily a guy that's going to be a backup. This gives him an opportunity now to find another spot in the league where he can be a starter.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Jones. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. Nelson Aguilar, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. Throwing Jones. This is White on the screen. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down. Well, Charles, first drive here, little safe completion underneath, maybe get some rhythm, get your feet wet, so to speak.
I agree, and I like it because it's a lot like a basketball game when you're getting started and you pass the ball around so everyone touches it early and gets involved in the game. In this case, it's not just dumping it to a back and he's able to run with the ball, but you get your offensive linemen involved because they get to get out and run and hit people in the open field. Everyone getting their feet wet early.
A 40-yard punt, no return, and the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. The Falcon offense about ready to go to work here for the first time, and leading them as he has since 2008 is the veteran quarterback, former MVP, Matt Ryan.
And I think if there's one quarterback in the league who sometimes gets taken for granted, to me it's Matt Ryan, because I think throughout his career he's been consistently excellent. Frequent member of the 4,000-yard club, savvy veteran, knows how to throw the deep ball and create big plays. And yes, he will beat you from the pocket.
And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
You know, it's not just all athleticism from defensive linemen. Let's give them a little credit for their football intelligence as well. Read and react by them, understood the play call, and stacked it up and stuffed the run.
On 2nd and 9, Ryan. And his throw here's incomplete. Kyle Pitts, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
That was well defended. They clamped down on every available receiver. Just got to give the win to the defense on that snap.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Here's Ryan. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And this is dropped. Oh, boy. A chance for a big play early, but he could not secure it.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
The Falcons send out their punter. Back deep for the Patriots, Gunnar Olszewski. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return, and the Patriots take over. Well, Charles, when you think about the New England Patriots heading into this season, you know, 2020, their first time under 500 since the year 2000. First time they didn't win the AFC East since 2008, which is hard to believe. Do you think they get back on the balance beam this year?
I absolutely do, and those numbers that you posted there, Brandon, they sound like negatives. They're actually positives. It tells you how great a franchise this is. I do think that they flip things around. The moves they made in free agency, the draft picks they made, yes, it'll be a rookie quarterback, but they'll run the ball better and they have better receivers. The defense got better. I think this team will contend for the AFC East and definitely for a playoff spot. I look for the New England Patriots to look more like the Patriots we're used to seeing, not the Patriots we saw in 2020.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
5 men in the secondary now for the Falcons on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Jones. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a 1st down. The drive stays intact with a pickup of 13. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Back to throw. Jones. Hunter Henry brings it in. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up 1st downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
That goes as a gain of 11 and a Patriot 1st down. He's obviously a bit of a shorter running back. Sometimes when he goes up the middle like that, he gets lost in there and then he pops out for 10, 20 yards.
I actually asked NFL linebackers if that was true. Do you actually lose sight of some of the smaller running backs? And all of them confirmed that that can be a problem. Think of it this way. Two of the top running backs in NFL history, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, both 5'10".
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He'll get that out to the flat to White. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
From the 44, Jones, open man is born. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 34-yard line. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. Jones throwing on first down. Complete. Hunter Henry with a grab. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
And to the surprise of many, the New England Patriots made a huge splash in free agency. And on the first day, they added Hunter Henry from the Chargers. 5 years there, career high 60 catches last year. He expects that number to go up in New England.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. They will run with White out of the shotgun. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
Sometimes I forget how much information he has to go through before the ball's even snapped. But what a diagnosis right there. Saw the play, shot through the gap like a rocket, and ends up spilling it for a loss.
He'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. On the give, this is Harris. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. It's a 7-yard pickup. They'll be looking now to 3rd and 6.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Now Jones to throw on 3rd down. And caught by Henry. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. It goes as a gain of 9 and it moves the chains.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
It looks like a jumbo set with 3 tight ends here for 1st and goal. They hand this off to Harris. And he goes backwards on this one. Losing yardage to the 7. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, I know a defensive coordinator is going to be pretty excited about what he just saw there. Great knockback by their front. And now with the ball where it is, I would expect to see the offense throw the ball on 2nd and 3rd down here.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. Looking to throw. Jones. Touchdown, Patriots. Hunter Henry. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Pats have taken the early lead.
We're still in the first quarter, but it's apparent they're going to have to come up with a different defensive game plan for him because right now he's kind of having his way against that defense and has added a touchdown to the list. How do you slow him down? They're going to have to mix up some coverages, maybe change who's guarding him.
Now the extra point. And he gets it to make it 7-0 Patriots. So that one a 13-play drive in total, and it ends with a New England touchdown. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. On the return, here's the dangerous Cordero Patterson. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Getting another look on offense at the Atlanta Falcons. And it's a new-look Falcons in 2021 as far as the GM and head coach new in those positions. Charles, you remember last year, Dan Quinn got axed after an 0-5 start. They sputtered to a 4-12 season, although they did show signs of life there at the end. But what do you expect from Atlanta this year?
Well, they chose to stay stable with Matt Ryan at quarterback rather than drafting one. I love the tight end Kyle Pitts that they drafted out of Florida, although he's much more of a receiver than he is a true tight end, and that's good for the Falcons. They changed Arthur Smith as head coach. The offense should get better. They've got to get better on the defensive side of the ball, and they'll continue to work on that. They brought in an old, long-time, big-time defensive coordinator. So I think they'll be better that way. But all in all, I took that. Tampa Bay and New Orleans in the same division. Carolina continues to get better as well.
And remember, they do have, as you said, Matt Ryan back, but no more Julio Jones, the longtime Falcon, now took his talents up the road to Tennessee and Nashville. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Ryan got this complete to the tight end Pitts. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Ryan on target to Pitts, first down Falcons. So, Charles, defensively here, you're going up against a veteran quarterback. He's got a lot of know-how, a ton of savvy, but guy who's not the most mobile of quarterbacks. What's the plan of attack?
You spend all week pumping up your defensive front. Your defensive tackles, your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that go after the quarterback the most, because you know that he's not going to run and beat you consistently throughout the game. You can rush more aggressively off the edge and even up the middle, because even if he evades you, he's not going to go very far. You have a lot more confidence going after him in the pocket. And that's a good substantial run there from Mike Davis. And how about his career resurgence? Because he's bounced around a bit in the NFL. From San Francisco to Seattle to Chicago to Carolina. And now here with the Atlanta Falcons, always dependable, Mike Davis.
Let's go.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Back now in Atlanta, second quarter action. The Falcons with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Here's Ryan. That's into the hands of Pitts, the tight end. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Ryan. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Dante Hightower just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. Well, that's not how you hope to draw it up there on 1st and goal, CD, by taking a sack like that.
Well, they tried to be aggressive, didn't they? They didn't want to try and work their way past the goal line. They wanted it right there on that play. Unfortunately, it backfired against them. Now they have to try and pick it up here moving forward.
They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12. Another try after the first down sack. Ryan getting this ball out wide for Davis. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. That catch good for 8, but still, it's 3rd and goal now. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. Here's Ryan to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Fine work by the Patriot D there, and it's 4th down.
Great defense there on 3rd and goal. They took away everything. Forced him to fire that one to the sideline where no one could get it.
The field goal, a 21-yard attempt.
And his kick here is good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Just hit the field goal. Now he kicks off. Taylor now to return it. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far here in the 2nd quarter. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. They defer to White out of the shotgun, and he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Operating from the gun, Jones. And a dump off to White. Oh, a solid stiff arm and some open field. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. It'll be a Patriot first down on a pickup of 16.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. As long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
On 2nd down, it's White, and he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. 2 yards the loss, pass, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.
This defense is really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
New England on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Back to throw. Jones. Got the connection here to Bourne. And he will have a Patriots first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. First down, here's White. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That was a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Still 9 remaining on 2nd down. A give to Harris. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
But if you're going to have a relay race, you're probably going to pick your backs and receivers to run it, but don't underestimate the conditioning of the offensive line. They're out there just dictating things, staying on the field, and keeping a long drive going.
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. From the gun, Jones. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Brandon Copeland able to get him down for a loss of 11. And it brings up 4th down. Boy, Charles, that time he took a bad situation and made it worse.
Yeah, you're almost putting together a nice little song there, aren't you? Because it's something you'll see from young quarterbacks. They have that tendency to retreat backwards instead of stepping up in the pocket.
The Patriots send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. Atlanta prepped and readied for its next possession. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
On 2nd down now, it's Davis. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
On the carry, it's Davis. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
Nice run defense presented there, and what I mean by that is discipline. Guys filling the right gaps in the right holes, no one over-pursuing, and making a very nice play.
Here's 2nd and 9. From the gun, it's Ryan. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
incomplete pass on 2nd down. That'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Ryan. Oh, it's intercepted. He was trying to get it to Ridley. Picked up by Jalen Mills. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score.
All day, just like that.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman. He's in Orlando, and he'll have our EA Sports halftime report. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Good coverage on the outside, and I think that's where he wanted to check that down to. But once he saw the danger over there, he just threw that one over everyone's head. Smart play.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Looking to throw. Jones. And that is incomplete. The 3rd down battle won by Atlanta's defense. Solid coverage.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Clock running, and the Falcons moving with a sense of urgency. To throw again on 2nd down. Ryan. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
A deep ball down that right sideline, and he made sure that he put it where either his guy was going to catch it or no one was.
Face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Throw left side, complete. That's Patterson. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. It goes as a gain of 6, and it's a 1st down. 3rd and 4, he did just enough, and I mean just enough to move the chains.
And that's all you're looking for, right? Just want to keep the drive moving. You don't need the big play there. Just get to that marker that you described, and he was able to do just that.
Big stop, Pete. Big stop. Let's go. My game.
on first down. Throw out right, taken in by Patterson. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
Not only did we just see back-to-back nice gains, but we're also seeing the confidence rise, not just for the guy who caught it, but the guy throwing it as well.
And these back-to-back catches here out of the backfield, that can set something up downfield in a later sequence, right?
A lot of the time, it starts to draw the defense closer to the line of scrimmage. So to your point, show this swing pass, show this check down. Maybe later on, you heave one deep when you catch him close to the spot.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Ryan will throw again. Got a man. It's Patterson, complete. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22.
Now that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on first down. They're ahead of the chains now.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Ryan. This one left side, caught by Patterson. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard. To throw again is Ryan. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. And his kick is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. This fielded right at the goal line. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. The Pats at the line ready to go. And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together. And they're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7. So at halftime, it's the Patriots with the advantage. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. It was a very strong first half for our rookie quarterback. First things first, though. Let's get a check on the next-gen stats from that first half for New England. And even though they've got a halftime lead, they're likely devising ways as we speak to try and get a little more production from their passing game. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, they too found some success throwing the football. But I think both teams would say there's room for improvement in the second half.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. It'll be Falcons football, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. Taken at the goal line. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. And the Falcons ready to go back to work to start the third quarter. And they're on the short end of the scoreboard here. Charles, what adjustments, if any, do you think they need to make for the second half?
Well, paraphrasing the gold medal hockey winning coach Herb Brooks, I just say you continue to play your game. Throw the ball. They had success doing it in the first half. So make sure you keep getting the ball to your playmakers, a little bit more to the perimeter perhaps. But above all, play your game.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. From the shotgun, Ryan. And that's going to be incomplete.
We've got to give out a little applause on that play. It has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Now Ryan. Going for the deep ball. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
Well, we're into the second half now. This is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. The Falcons send out their punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. 36 yards on the punt with no return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here comes the Patriots offensive unit. They'll have it first here to begin the third quarter. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively, just not able to get anything going. So what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what do we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Running out of the gun with White. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him 15 yards on that one, and New England has a first down. Those are the types of runs they told us they want to see more of. Look, they'd love the 60 to 70-yard runs, but those 10 to 20-yarders, they can help you win a ball game.
And that means everyone's invested because you know the big guys up front, that's what they do. They try and move people. But when you get your perimeter guys involved downfield, that means that they care about the running game and they know it helps their team.
Throwing, Jones. And his throw is incomplete. And he was looking for his tight end, Hunter Henry. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Right now, the story of this game continuing to be the defenses because the offenses, they're finding it difficult to establish any rhythm whatsoever.
I like how you come to us in praise of defense, Brandon, because that's exactly right. That was an incompletion forced there, but we've seen it throughout this game. Both of these defense coordinators, they're a step ahead of their offensive counterparts.
And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. But tapping those toes, he tried to get both in bounds. He could not do it, though.
In tap dance parlance, could not complete the shuffle. All right, needed to get that shuffle down with both feet, not just one.
Is that what they say?
There it is. You know, put a little sand down on the stage.
I'll take your word for it, my man. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. A 3-yard loss. Fourth down now.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on third down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
The Patriots send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. Ryan going to give this to Davis. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety and being able to hit people with the run and the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
To throw is Ryan. He's going to loft it deep right sideline. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up fourth down.
What we've seen so far in this game, they are not going to allow a big shot over the top. You can have whatever you want underneath. They'll give you that, but they're not going to let you beat them deep.
The Falcons send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. The call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent, just the one touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader, making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They'll like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this 3rd and 4th quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect.
On 2nd down, they go back to White again.
White's got a 1st down and more. And bulldozing his way through. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
58 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Boy, the offensive line there, that was a thing of beauty to watch them block.
I love how you give a little appreciation for those big guys up front, and well-deserved. But how about the execution behind them? You can see the hours of practice that have gone into it. Great pocket by the running back. Quarterback puts it right in the perfect spot. Great mesh point by them. The timing on point. The run even better.
Now Jones. Flush to his right. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
2nd and 6.
Harris. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
The 37 on 3rd down. Back to throw. Jones. Now he'll let it go deep left side.
And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys are tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Again, it's Davis. And not too much going there as he'll get it up to the 23-yard line. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. So they will wave off the flag and let the completion stand.
Really great job by the receiver fighting through all the contact and still coming down with the football. All that great work in practice being put into the game.
Smith catches left side. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot. Because we saw the catch there, right? He made it, but he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Ryan. They'll wind up losing a full 10 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, you got to think that sooner or later, they're going to hit one of those, but the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
The Falcons send out their punter as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Pats will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. 13 yards remaining on 2nd down. Looking to throw. Jones. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Tyler Davison hauling it off the edge to sack him.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. Back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. And he gets it up to the 10-yard line here. A good pickup there, 7 yards, but it brings up 4th down. Well, just like you said, they've got the lead, don't do anything silly, run the football, and that's what they did.
They would have liked to have created a little more room for their punter, but he'll take what they gave him, and he'll go out there now and try and get the ball off and help his defense.
The Patriots send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Now a fair catch called for and made right on the 45-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Atlanta regains possession of the football. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep him warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it, but a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Davis. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Atlanta. And we've got a dandy here. A 1-point game as we begin the 4th. From the 35 on 2nd down, Ryan. And that is incomplete here.
Well, to me, there was no question about the intent there, and I think he was a little fortunate that the penalty flag didn't come out for grounding. But he'll get away with it and get another shot on 3rd down.
question now, can they get closer on third down? A field goal from here, you're looking at right about a 52-yarder. Davis, he'll try to run for it. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they jump back in front here. It's 9-7. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
Just hit the field goal. Now he kicks off.
On the return, it's Taylor.
And he won't quite make it to the 25.
The Patriots offense now. They work their way back onto the field.
And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this fourth quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game.
Here's Jones on 1st and 10. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Brandon Copeland, his second sack of the night.
He seemed to have a reasonable amount of time in the pocket, but he couldn't get rid of the football, and the end result, Charles, him on the ground.
Yeah, he's got to keep an internal clock to go along with his offensive line. When you're talking about 3, 4, 5 seconds, that's a reasonable amount of time to expect to deliver the ball downfield. So great to try and complete a pass, but it's equally important to know when to throw the football away, too.
Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Another try after the first down sack. Jones. That's complete into the hands of Myers. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. New England on third down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 9. Back to throw. Jones.
He'll let this go deep for Bourne.
He's got a man, complete.
And he will have a Patriots first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. For Mac Jones, accuracy was more his calling card when folks were taking stock of the 2021 draft, but he's got a big arm as well, and he shows it off there.
And you'd think on third down they'd just be looking for something right beyond the sticks, and I think they caught the defense flat-footed as a result because they decided they were going to take a shot right there, and it ended up being a big play.
And to put a bow on it, Next Gen Stats saying that traveled an even 66 yards in the air.
Jones now on first down.
That's swung out wide to Harris.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it's a second down.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
From the 17, Jones. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. credit that sack to Dante Fowler Jr. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hadn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it,
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. Work now for Jones and the Patriots here after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got him in. That's Smith. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere. In the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. And his kick is right there. It's good. And they take the lead here by a point, 10-9. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
Now after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. Now it's Patterson. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Falcons offense set to go. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
A good gain on first. Has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Ryan. And it's complete right back to Ridley. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. That one a first down pickup of 8.
And that's another Falcons first down, courtesy of a catch there by Calvin Ridley. Now in his 4th season, he's coming off of his best year yet in 2020. 90 catches, close to 1,400 yards receiving. He continues to ascend up the charts as one of the top receivers in the NFL.
And that one's going to be off target and incomplete. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Again, Ryan. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, he left no doubt about that one because even though he hasn't left the pocket, he's got a receiver in the area, so it's not grounding, even though there's no way that ball was going to be caught.
The Falcons on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Now it's Ryan. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't. But he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
The Falcons send out their punter as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. It's a 39-yard punt, 3 on the return.
The Patriots take over first.
New England trying to get to place on offense. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
And he pushes through a would-be tackler to get about 3 yards, second down.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. Looking to throw. Jones. He completes it right side away. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. That goes as a gain of 11 and a Patriot first down.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Jones. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
The coverage was good, but I just wonder if they absolutely fooled the quarterback on that play. I think he was expecting something else, ended up with nowhere to throw the football successfully.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Off the play fake. Jones. And this one too low. This a very important drive, and that incompletion leads to a very important 3rd down here if they're going to try and get the football back.
Yeah, getting it back, absolutely crucial to their chances to try and win this game. I would expect a lot of pressure here. They can't afford to let them continue to get first downs and eat away at the clock.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Brandon Copeland in there to get him yet again. That is his 3rd sack tonight. They can't figure him out.
I think that time he just maybe held on to it a little too long, CD, because after a couple of seconds in this league, you know those defenders are coming.
And how many times do we talk about complementary football? We usually talk about, does the offense help the defense? Does the defense help the offense? I think in this case, does the quarterback help out his offensive line? You only have a certain amount of time to get rid of the football. They can only do so much. On this play, he took them to the limits.
.42-yard punt, 6 on the return. Atlanta now coming out on the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Now this one into the hands of the tight end, Hayden Hurst. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
From the 44, Ryan. And he'll complete this one to Patterson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 10 yards there and a first down for the Falcons.
Fourth quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight one-point game. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now it's Ryan. This is to Pitts on the quick slant. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
That's a nice job right there, partner, because they were able to work down the middle of the field, working in the seams, because I think defensively they were guarding the sidelines, trying to keep them from getting out of bounds. They took what they gave them, and it was successful.
Ryan going to get this to Davis. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Davis running left. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. They'll run with Davis. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. The Patriots will take their third and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Now a handoff to Davis. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. 58 yards on the ground for him so far.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
Now we've reached the 1 minute mark in this game. Here's Ryan. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's fourth down. So now it's fourth down and short, and whatever they do, run or pass it, they've got to pick up the first here.
Yeah, and you mentioned running it. That is still an option, but as you also said, they've got to do it quickly and get back to the line of scrimmage.
And his kick is good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that, because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
Could just hit the field goal. Now he kicks off. Taylor now to return it. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15. So now Jones and the Patriots down by 2, 45 seconds remaining. Now their lead is evaporated, but they still have a shot on first down. Now Jones. He's going to let it fly. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down.
pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw is Jones. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely 4-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the first down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Jones. And that will be incomplete. This defense looking impenetrable now. 3 straight incompletions. They're giving him nowhere to go with the football. Maybe a little frustrated back there.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. When you've missed on 3 straight, there's going to be some frustration. But now he's got to make sure that that frustration is temporary, not lingering. Big throw coming up.
Jones. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and now the football's going to go over, already being placed at the 15-yard line. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. Ryan heads down to a knee, and that should wrap this one up. So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons. And this one won't be remembered for many offensive fireworks, but they did enough to get the job done.
And that's why it's a team game, because sometimes you have to lean on one part of your team. And they leaned on their defense. In fact, they probably went over there and asked for some help. Like, guys, we just don't have it in this one. Can you hook us up? And they did in a big way. Said, no problem. Put it on our shoulders. We'll carry you home. And they did exactly that.